Well, hey, Gun Maniacs, welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. It is November 12th, 2025, and I'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, etc. But first, we're actually going to jump into this Nintendo Direct going on.
Hello everyone, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto from Nintendo. Today, I'd like to show you the first trailer for the second Mario movie, the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh.
This time, Mario will embark on a journey into space. When we announced the movie title this past September, it was well received by many people from around the world. Thank you to everyone who's looking forward to this movie, just as you did for the previous one. Now let's hear some remarks by Chris-san from Illumination, who's producing the movie with me.
All right, so I guess they're going to be talking first.
Thank you, Miyamoto-san. At this moment, our team of artists at Illumination are just weeks away from completing animation. Their work
Hey, Jonas. Hey, Adam, how are you doing so far? Gigabash DLC is going to have a showcase tomorrow, but it will have the best DLC next week. Yeah, I can't wait. I was actually looking to get it on Xbox because I bought it on Epic, or I got it for free on Epic Games or something, but
what you're about to see,
I'd rather get on Xbox, have it in the living room. Although technically I played in the living room, Frog Ally hooked up to the TV.
Okay, thank you all for waiting. Let's press the start button.
All right, let's see this. He said press the start button. That's pretty smart. Man, the CGI looks incredible.
Hey, big guy! You wanted to see us?
Don't move, I'll be right up. Sip in the soup, clean at the paint. Boodle-doo, and also trim the bonsai bush. Here we go. Hey, Luigi! What's up, Mario? Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that? I'll burn the skin off your bones! Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose. Anyway, I need my allowance or else I really turn into a monster.
The dialogue could be in any movie. That's the one thing about this. It's not necessarily like it feels like Mario, but the rest of it could. Wow. Okay.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
Okay.
How was that? When it comes to Super Mario Galaxy, we can't talk about it without mentioning Rosalina. What key do you think she holds in this story?
Okay.
And standing in our hero's way,
Let's really see what else is going on here, because that might be it for what I'm going to react to.
At the end of the last movie. Okay, Chris-san, let's announce the new.
You're a fan of the fish? Yeah. New Mario Galaxy.
Who we announced in the last Direct. We are thrilled to share two talented individuals who will be voicing Rosalina and Bowser Jr. First,
Well, it sounded like Jack Black was
introduce
using
our
Bowser Jr.
cosmic protector.
Once upon a time, there was a brave and noble princess named Peach.
I want to hear the story about the Clover.
We did that one last night.
Clover, Clover, Clover.
Okay,
Rosalina is being brought to the big screen by Academy Award winner and Nintendo superfan Brie Larson. And now, a villain
Okay,
with the
I guess that's a good get.
From the ashes of his father's defeat rises a new conqueror. The Bowser name shall be feared once more.
The role of Bowser Jr. is being played by...
Ah, thought so.
If anyone's going to be announcing Bowser Jr., it's got to be his papa.
The floor is all yours.
I appreciate that, Chris. Hello, Nintendo Direct. We have royalty in our midst. He is the heir to the Koopa Throne, a rowdy little bundle, an uncut gem. He's very safety.
And I know he'll make his papa proud.
I have to say, I am so excited.
What?
That Galaxy is going to be the inspiration for this movie. Everyone knows it's the best video game of all time. My boys, when I told them I was going to be in Galaxy, they were like, no way, it's going to be Galaxy! I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Galaxy! And you know, my boys were saying that there's kids all over the world. How special is this time? I can't wait for everyone.
Oh, the reverb? I bet that's my mic picking that up.
Words and sweet score of this film.
Sorry, that happens from time to time, but...
Be the one who throws back to Miyamoto-san.
Like I could stop you?
You couldn't.
Back to you, Miyamoto-san!
I'm back. That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing Bowser this time as well, Jack-san. Thank you, Jack-san and Chris-san. Please look forward to Brie Larson as the elegant Rosalina and Benny Safdie as the mischievous Bowser Jr.
Benny Safdie?
You can find the latest info about the Super Mario Galaxy movie on the smart device app Nintendo Today, so we hope you'll check that out. And while you're checking Nintendo Today, you can also watch the Pikmin Close to You videos if you haven't yet. Okay, that's all for now. Please wait just a bit longer until the movie's released next spring. See you later.
Okay. Well, I gotta say, that looked entertaining. You know, there's that thing that happens sometimes with movies and IP where, you know, and this was something I talked about with Predator review up on the site, where they did a good job with Predator by adding what is necessary to make it more mainstream and acceptable for a whole lot of people. But I don't think like Nintendo needs to do that. So it's just interesting when they're showing off the Mario movie, but then they have these sequences where there's just this funny exchange of dialogue that really doesn't have anything to do with Mario or the world they're in. It's just to be a funny movie. And I think that's, they add that stuff in again for it to be more movie and not video game. But I do think we're in a place in a time where the IP is strong enough where it can hold its own. I think Mario and even Sonic can hold its own without having to try to appeal to a mainstream audience, which I think inherently it does. Oh my gosh, I have so much dog hair on me. I was hugging the husky this morning. Totally forgot. Anyway, I guess what I'm just trying to say is it's hard for me as an adult to take the Mario movie super seriously or seriously at all, you know, to where it's, and I don't know if I have another good example. It was just like when I watched the Predator movie, the new one. It did so many things for me while doing things for other people. I don't know. I always think it's about tone, and I think some people can nail it, some people can't, but sometimes it can work even though it could be done better. Mario movie, for instance, that last Mario movie, I think was fine. But it's like it could be better, but I don't know. It's like the Sonic movies. All those Sonic movies were enjoyable to watch, inoffensive, but they could have been better. And by better, you could appeal to I feel like with the Sonic movie, you're almost isolating that older gamer adult that grew up with Sonic. You're giving them enough, like me, you're giving us enough to enjoy it, and the kids enjoy it, obviously, and mainstream. But for those hardcore Sonic fans, it's like there's a little more you could do. And I think the end of Sonic 2 almost did that because it had the areas that look like you're going through levels. Anyway, interesting. Brie Larson in the cast for the one. I can't wait for Fast and Furious sequel as well. Yeah, apparently they've got a new one coming soon. So, okay. Let's talk about what I was playing yesterday. I played a few things. Where do I want to start with? So yeah, yesterday was the 11th. So House Fighters Total Mess again. That's what I was playing on stream yesterday. I was playing some more last night. Super fun game. Really like it. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Just I was in a random racing mood. This is a fun game that I've owned, and you see here I played 6 hours of it. There's a sequel, and the sequel looks good. But I will say that the first one was good enough, and I didn't play it enough, and I'd rather be playing the first one a bunch before I jump into the second one. It's funny because, yeah, it's another racing game, but I feel like, again, and I talked about this when the Switch 2 came out when I got it, and there's like multiple racing games that were out. It's like racing games kind of stand the test of time depending on what's involved. There's that Recreation that came out recently. That looks good. It's like the old Burnout stuff. So, hey, Jamkill X, good to see you. And Irfan Gaming, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate that. Hope to see you around here more. But anyway, Chris, have a good day at school. This other one, okay, Stampede Racing Royale. This is a free game and it's like in preview on Xbox. But when you load it up, it doesn't work. So I'll try it again later. I didn't read if anything was up on that, but that looked interesting. And then SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. I don't talk about that too much in here, mainly on Steven's show, Midnight Hatter Live. So I played and beat the entire Blue Destiny thing because I was really excited about it. Went ahead and did the entire tech tree. Even got the exam version of Unit 2 and 3. Is that what it is? Something? Yeah. So that it's kind of fun. Like there's certain elements where I'm having fun jumping into G Generation Eternal and playing. That's a good example. And then this Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. So I remember I was playing it like a week or two ago with Chun-Li and I got destroyed. I was playing it again yesterday. And I actually cleared it. I beat it with Chun-Li. Clear arcade mode for the first time. This is probably the hardest fighting game I've played in a very long time. And sometimes I'll play a fighting game and it's really hard. And then I like quickly pick up, oh, this is what I need to do. For Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, I feel like they really created an awesome, complex fighting system. It's very traditional, but it does incorporate what I would call like options. I guess it's like it's like you really have to read the opponent and then choose what to do, because there was times where I'm like, okay, as soon as I see them do a certain animation, I'm gonna have to do this move because it's a way that I can hit them from range. It was Chun-Li's, I forget what it's called, where she jumps in the air. It's like down forward B, I think. Jumps in the air and lands, or it's a kick, and then lands with her feet. It's kind of like a ranged attack. And I was having to use that as more of my like, okay, whenever the enemy is about to make a move, but I'm not positioned close enough to do something, I need to do this to not allow them to come close to me. And yeah, there's just a lot of interesting things, especially the roll off the ground. Like if you get knocked down, there's a way to quickly get back up. I couldn't do that in real time. I was able to do it in the tutorial. But the big issue with what makes the Fatal Fury hard is when you get knocked down and you're in close range, it's very easy for the opponent to have some follow-up combos. So it's really important that as the player, you understand the rolls, how to roll out of when you fall, or there's this other interesting thing that it seems like at the beginning of the game, you have a certain amount of time with your health bar that you could do these sort of, if you press these two buttons together, the move you're doing goes through the enemy attack and doesn't attack. Anyway, this is just all to say Fatal Fury City of the Wolves has a really cool combat system. I'd love to jump into it some more. Glad I beat it with Chun-Li. But yeah, I'll go back and do it with like Ken and all that. Yeah, the last boss with Chun-Li is Mai Shiranui. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they had their own like storyline and stuff. And to be honest, it was really good value. So that's another thing with Fatal Fury. It didn't sell well, but I think it is. Oh, something just fell. It's a good value type of fighting game. All right, let's jump into some news. Rushing Beat X, Return of Brawl Brothers launches March. Let me move this a little closer. There we go. So okay, this looks cool. So apparently this is another beat 'em up. There was a demo out, and I just happened to miss the demo. But here we got and it looks like it's following in the sort of the footsteps of Double Dragon Revive, where it looks like it's a fully 3D game. But I want to see, as the characters moving up and down in the world, is it diagonal base, like full 8-way, or is it just planes of like a typical 2D beat 'em up would do? Um, okay, let's move forward and see some action. I think hard to say, hard to say. But anyway, this I think it's coming out next year. There was a demo of it. It doesn't even say when it's coming out. There was a demo available earlier this year. I totally missed it. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Rushing Beat a series anyway? I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, throwing enemies. Yeah, this could be great. After beating a lot of beat 'em ups actually recently, I'm looking forward to another one. Okay. Next up, Konami's 1985 mech-based fighting game Galactic Warriors is coming to consoles. Okay, that's cool. So this is a really cool screenshot of the pixel art, which I wouldn't be able to guess what year. You could have told me 92, but 85, it's pretty impressive. Could be because it was an arcade game. Yeah, released in arcades 1985, Galactic Warriors is a 2D fighting game that supports 1 to 2 players and is set in a futuristic world where robot fighting events using giant mechs have become popular across the galaxy. This includes a robot clearly inspired by Geiger's alien design named Geiger and a suspiciously AT-AT looking camel-shaped mech with a laser rifle strapped to its back. I like the sound of that. So choose your robot. Oh, I see what it's. Oh, and that looks like a Psycho Zaku. Actually, that green one. Is it? Yeah, Psycho Zaku. Did I mean Saikamu Zaku? Just that little angle right there. Huh. So actually seeing more of the screenshots, this does look, like an 85 thing. Okay, and this is another Arcade Archives release, and it's that same thing where it's $7.99 on Switch and PS4, but it's $9.99 on modern on the next gen, but it has some other features. So interesting that they do that. I kind of don't like that split thing where it's like on Switch and PS4 it's one version, and then on the Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series X it's another version. Because if someone wanted to then be able to play everything, they would have to buy it twice if they didn't have, you know what I mean? Like that's one of those things where that should just be DLC or something. I don't know. Not a fan of that. Okay. Switch version of this game will crash the eShop. Is that possible? Okay. Let's reload this. Okay. So there were some announcements from Sony's like Japanese State of Play, and there was really nothing interesting, but I might go through that list real quick. But one thing they did announce is a 27-inch gaming monitor with a DualSense charging hook, which I think is an awesome idea. A couple things, it's very interesting that they are coming out with a 27-inch gaming monitor. They've done this in the past. They came out with that 3D monitor that one time. I never got that. And, you can understand it being, the 3D monitor was small, but because it was 3D, that would have been expensive. That was like a cheap way to get everyone to try the 3D. What's interesting with this is, this is a Japanese direct. And I guess it would make sense, to say, hey, there's a small TV that you could buy. You could just plug your controller on and charge it. The thing is, it goes up to 240 hertz. And so it's not like the PlayStation does that. Or even if it did, it's not like any games are taking advantage of it. Even the console's taking advantage of 120. It's like sometimes you'd rather go 60 and 1080 than 30 and 120. Or, 1080, yeah. You'd rather go 4K. You'd rather go 1080, 120 than 30, 4K. I think that's what I'm trying to say. No. Yeah, because if you wanted that 120, you're not going to get like the visuals you want. If you know what I mean. Like on the consoles, on PC, it's all up in the air. But anyway, This is a 240 hertz monitor, so it's strange unless their idea here is to have something for PCs. So we'll see. I think this is pretty cool. Like I'm not necessarily in the market for a monitor, but let me say I do have a monitor in front of me that's really nice. I got it 4 or 5 years ago. It was about $600. And it's a Samsung. It's really nice. Now I have 2 monitors because then I have one right below the camera here. But because they're different monitors, obviously this other one I got was a cheaper one. There's sometimes refresh conflicts, and it's annoying. You can fix it. Most of the time it's not an issue. Sometimes it is. But it's one of those things, if I was to get 2 monitors, I would get 2 of the same in the future. And there's a lot going on with this. I mean, and it's funny how much this Sony one looks like the Samsung one I have. And it has, yeah, it has all the same stuff. So, except it has this PlayStation Link thing. I don't know. A lot of money. But I got to say, this is a pretty cool idea. I say get this monitor for Sony on a Black Friday. Yeah, that's a good idea. Black Friday's coming up. They haven't even announced a price on this yet, actually. Wait. Yeah. Okay, moving on. ArtDink. So this is interesting. ArtDink is a Japanese developer. Someone like me knows of them very well because they've made a lot of Gundam games. But they've announced ArtDink Gamelog. The idea is they're going to start porting all their old games to Switch and PC, which that's pretty interesting. And they've already got one up, Tale of the Sun. So this was on PlayStation originally. It's a very unique and interesting game. There's nothing else like it, really. Would I play this? I'm not too sure. But I just find this fascinating because does this mean there's something going on behind the scenes to port? So Gundam Battle Destiny Remastered, that came out in May this year. The remaster is made in Unreal Engine. The original was made by ArtDink. So I don't know if there is something going on where there's some background. Let's see how we can emulate a bunch of games and then be available on the Switch. Because it's funny that the only console they're targeting is Switch. PC's on here too. But then the Switch 2 is out. But I do think Switch to Switch 2, they're making it where it could probably play on Switch 2. It's just they're using the Switch specs because that's all they need for these older games. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is I think this is more evidence that there's a bunch of things in the works to maybe get old Gundam games remade or remastered or whatever. I don't know. I just do think it's fascinating. A company like ArtDink, the game developer ArtDink, who's made games forever, is now coming out with their own platform to port their games. I still think it's odd that Battle Destiny Remastered only came out on Switch and PC, and there's still no news about it coming on PlayStation or Xbox. Very strange choices from Bandai Namco. ArtDink, though, this might be unaffiliated with Bandai Namco in any way. It doesn't look like there's anything. So, okay. Okay, I wanted to talk about some of the announcements from the PlayStation State of Play, the Japanese State of Play. The first, the main, and I'll just go through the list. I don't know if it's really in any order, but the Blaze Blue Entropy Effect X. So when I was watching that, I was like, wow, this actually looks really good. And so I looked it up, and there's a game right now that just came out last December called Blaze Blue Entropy Effect. And I think I might have avoided it because roguelike. Okay? Yeah, action roguelike. And I'm like, I'm kind of done with that. But these reviews, the reviews for this are really, really, really good. And it's like, okay, I'm should just try it then. 20 is not a lot for this type of game. Or you could pay less and get it with another game. Oh, no, it's maybe because I already have Dead Cells or something. And Art of Shinobi. Meet again. What's this? Is this hack and slash? It doesn't say roguelike. Okay, I'm going to add this to my wish list. Anyway. The reviews, they're all very positive. And when I read the reviews, they're saying things that as a knower of roguelikes, and that's why I sometimes will avoid them, they're saying the things that I would want to hear to make me interested in playing this. Namely, it's really based around the combat system. A lot of times I play a Metroidvania for the exploration, even though the combat system needs to be there. But I can get into this knowing, okay, let's just focus on the combat system. So that's very interesting. I was not expecting that it's something that came out that I wasn't even thinking about. Okay, broken lore, blah blah blah. Damon and Baby. I'm trying to think of, was there anything else that, let me look at this again. Because I will say most of the stuff I didn't even really care about. Oh, so this was just added to Steam too. Action, adventure, shooter, 3D PV. Okay, that looks it looks interesting in terms of this is unique, but it doesn't really jive with me. Okay, Digimon Story, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Dynasty Warriors Origins. So this is some DLC that comes out in January, which is like a year after the game released. So that's cool. I've played Dynasty Warrior Origins. I haven't got far in it, but it is fun. Fatal Frame 2. This is a remake that's coming out next year. Nevergrave. Let's look at this real quick because this seemed to have more of, I guess, what I would be interested. And notice a lot of these games that I'm searching that were announced for the state of play, I'm pulling up their PC or their Steam stores. So far, nothing is exclusive. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing this. Okay, so the art style at the beginning looked good, but when you see how it's like little cutesy graphics, I'm not too into that. And it's not like it's pixel cutesy graphics. It's just like, it's Hollow Knight style. Even with the legs, it's not even made by Hollow Knight devs. So, yeah, Roguevania. Is that what they're calling this stuff now? It says Roguevania. And I don't know what that means. Is it because the combat's like a Castlevania, but then it's a roguelike? Huh. This is neat. Dragon Road? And it looks very bad. It looks very bad. It's $1. There's a demo. Let me just add to my wish list. I'll come back to that. Anyway, that Nevergrave, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. No Sleep for Kaname Tate. What the? Octopath Traveler, Marvel. Oh, the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. That actually looks pretty neat. I gotta say, the style is all there. And I think some people have played it, right? There's betas. There's a closed beta coming up. I haven't tried it. Monster Hunter's getting a free update. Motion Wreck, a puzzle action game. Tokyo Extreme Racer. So this is one that I would definitely play. So it came out in January, early access on PC, and I just didn't get it because some of the reviews of the early access were just saying there's not much to do. So that's pretty cool. I love playing the old Tokyo Extreme Racer games. So yeah, I'll wait for this. Actually, I think on PC right now it is the full release. So then PS5 is getting it in January. And then Wandering Sword. An RPG. Let's look at this because it looks cool. Let's see, turn-based, but it looks cool. So I don't know. So that was about it. I mean, I wonder what you guys think, but I gotta say, there was nothing interesting. I almost felt like, it was interesting. Microsoft had their direct or showcase, whatever you want to call it, recently, and it was very Japanese focused. So I think it's very interesting for Sony to come out with this like Japanese only state of play. Are they trying to be like, hey, yeah, we're still all about the Japanese consumer? I mean, they're coming out with that cheaper $350 PlayStation that's only in Japan also. Or could it be that they just really want to recapture that market and maybe they went too wide, too big, which sometimes happens, and then they forget kind of who their original, because, Sony and PlayStation based in Japan, even though they saw where they can make a worldwide console. So I don't know. I'm curious to see where all that goes, but I think that's it for today. So that was pretty interesting. We watched the Mario Galaxy trailer, kind of did a little recap of the Sony state of play in Japan, and that'll be it. So I'll be back tomorrow with some more. All have a good rest of the day. We'll talk later.